Hi everybody, welcome to episode 21 of Satellite 664. I'm one of your two co-hosts, Kaz Tagyan, and as always I'm joined by Mr. Steve Loopy Newhouse from Romford, Essex. Good day to you.
Bonjour. That's what
Bonjour.
I've been practicing French.
Have you?
In fact, I spent so much time with Antonio, I should be practicing Italian. If people don't know, Antonio's the guy that's put our website, so he's put my website and the Satellite 664 website together. And a little bit of news. Watch this space, but we are working on getting T-shirts available.
Yes.
And I'm not going to spoil the surprise, but they look fantastic and they will be available soon.
Yeah, we're actually working on some designs for both ladies and gentlemen, and just working through the colours, the colour coding, the colour
Yeah,
scheme.
I think that's where the problem lies. So with us gents, we're quite happy with black,
That's
but the
right.
ladies can't decide. So
Yeah, we've got a couple of lovely ladies on the scene who are advising us. Is that the right
assisting.
assisting? So
Yeah, but yeah,
so watch this space. Watch this
yeah,
space.
absolutely.
Yeah. How are you, mate? Everything okay with you?
Yeah, all good, all
Good.
good.
Good. Sit forward a bit. You're disappearing into the clouds there. All right. Look, it's
I got to show off the aircraft.
yes, which we're going to really start the show with. We really have to open the show, and we cannot possibly not discuss the passing of the great, and I mean in big capital letters, the great master Eddie Van Halen, who sadly, unfortunately, passed away this past week. Universally loved. I think everybody in the rock world, and I think the music industry as a whole, was just absolutely shocked and devastated. Um, his struggles with health problems were well documented. He had throat cancer, and he was in remission for a while, but it is a very aggressive type of cancer, and
Yeah, sadly, it got him in the end. Yes.
uh,
Oh, let me sort of enlighten you with a little story. And
please.
this happened many years ago. um, it was about 1993, 94. Van Halen were playing at the Wembley Arena, and I was working on the local crew. And once everything was set up, there was a whole bunch of us. There was about 8 of us that were asked to sort of stay on. But what the stay on entails basically, we're there for the rest of the day. So we get to hear the sound checks. We get to put the support band on, take the support band off, and generally set the stage up for Van Halen to sort of go straight into it. And during the sound check, Eddie was up there sort of just messing about with his guitar, and a lot of the crew stayed behind just to watch him play. And on the corner of stage left, he came right to the front of the stage where we were standing and watching, and just sat down on the edge of the stage, cigarette in his mouth, playing away, and it was like, we were having like a bit of sort of banter backwards and forwards with him. What a great guy, absolutely fantastic guy. But the fact that he had the cigarette in his mouth the whole time, and then you go, okay, throat cancer. Maybe I ought to start thinking about giving up myself
Yeah, there's
because
a. I've heard a theory. Apparently his doctors weren't entirely sure whether the smoking was actually the cause of the cancer. There's I've been reading that Eddie used to walk around with a metal plectrum in his mouth all the time, and I read somewhere that the theory is that being in the studio for so long, some look, I don't understand the physics or the science of it, but the electromagnetic interactions with that metal pick in his mouth may have been a contributing factor.
some sort of kind of sort of chemical reaction or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, these things may well be carcinogenic and induce changes in the cells in the oral cavity. I don't know, but that's possibly. I
But you're a
don't.
doctor,
Oh, yes, I am, but I don't know everything.
and if you don't know, then who does?
I know stuff. I just don't know everything. So,
Fair enough.
but well, look. Needless to say, yes, that his smoking was perhaps a contributing factor. But
Contributing. Yeah.
nevertheless, look, it's just sad. These icons from
Heroes.
heroes and
Absolute
icons
heroes. Yeah.
from our genre and from our youth are slowly, very slowly, one by one, leaving, and it's sad. I mean, I
It is
remember
sad. Basically, I think Eddie was he 64, was just a year older than me. And it,
65, I think. Yeah, 65.
see, yeah, but again, well, only a couple of years older than me, but it does bring it home
It does. It does.
when you see your heroes just sort of disappearing. It's
I mean,
yeah,
I was
it's
never
real.
I was never a big fan. I mean, I've only got one or two Van Halen albums, in my collection. But I mean, I loved 1984 and Jump and Panama and all those songs when they were actually
Well,
out.
1984 actually came out when I was with the band in Jersey.
Ah, yes, that's right.
Because that was one of the albums. I went out and bought the cassette straight away, and it was one of the albums I was playing all the time in my room.
That's right.
But flying back from Los Angeles in 81, um, can't think of the name of the album. Um, it would have been the full studio album. Fair Warning.
Fair warning. Yeah.
Fair Warning came out, and I actually listened to that all the way home on the plane. Just kept turning the tape over, backwards and forwards.
Yeah. Look, everybody's got a story about them. I mean, not a lot of people know this, but Van Halen were actually discovered by none other than Gene Simmons of Kiss. He
Yeah,
he
well,
yeah, he went and saw them in a club in 1977 in Los Angeles, and he just thought this kid can play, and I think he actually approached them and helped them get signed. And a lot. I mean, a lot of my guitar heroes went and saw him, and just they all. The sentiment was, man, I really need to pick up my game and reach that level. He's just a true.
he was so. If you go back to the late '60s when you had Jimi Hendrix, and then you got Eddie Van Halen, there was nothing that filled that gap. Not really. Yes, there were guitarists. I mean, you got Jeff Beck, etc. Clapton, well, slow hand. um, but then you get Eddie Van Halen, and he started a genre of amazing guitarists.
Yeah, he did. He did. I mean, when I go back and I listen to albums like 1984 and Diver Down, Women and Children First, it is the sound that it really did pioneer the sound that my generation grew up with.
Mm.
That sort of early 80s clean, punchy hard rock sound, which
Yeah.
guys like me sort of grew up with and then went on to discover a lot of other bands. So yeah, we're going to miss the master. Rest in peace, mate, and thank you for some outstanding music.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Eddie. Rest in peace.
Here, here. All right, moving right along. Let's talk about some Iron Maiden. Oh, you've
What,
gone
like this?
you've gone to Mexico.
I
You,
wonder why. I don't know why I did that. Yes, I do. We're going to talk about the new album.
yes, we are going to. Yeah, so finally, some news, something to really digest and think about, and we have a live release. We have an official release from Maiden. The new live album. Do you want to say the title, Loopy? It's got a very.
I have no idea what the title is. I can't even see my own picture. Something about the Knights of the Dead.
That's it. Yep, that's the title. Yeah, absolutely. I wanted you to say it because you had it nicely written down there and behind you. So, yeah, basically, this is the live album documenting the legacy of the Beast tour, and I think it's given that it's such a huge theatrical visual show, it simply had to be documented. And a lot of people were speculating, are they going to do something for this tour? Are they not going to do something for this tour? And pops along this album, and I think really it was a right thing for the band to do, especially this year in the climate that we're in. There's certainly been a lot of questions asked from the fan base, a lot of speculation, a lot of quite probing questions to why aren't Maiden doing something? Why aren't we getting anything? So many other bands have released music, but why aren't Maiden doing something in this downtime? But and up pops this album. So this is
I
going to
think
be a cracker.
what people also got to understand is that there were other things going on in the background that I cannot discuss, but that was taking up a little bit more time than people realise. So, you know, I can't really say much more than that.
Well,
But yeah, well, it's nice to have another live album. You know, as you said, you know, people were speculating about whether they're going to bring out a studio album, which you know would be ridiculous because they can't go out and tour it to show it off. So this was the next best thing, and yeah, it'll keep people quiet for a little while.
look, I think this was always on the cards because, as we just said a few moments ago, it's such a mammoth tour. They were
Mm.
always probably going to document the tour with this release, and I mean, I think it was an inevitability anyway about it.
And they've also they've not skipped anything either because what they've done is they've actually over the 3 days in Mexico or Mexico City they've actually managed to record the entire set. So you know they're not skipping on anything.
Are you surprised that they chose Mexico City, Loopy?
Mm. Um, yes and no. I mean, yes, like I'm surprised that they've chosen another South American, Central American country for a live album.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm not kind of surprised in that respect, but there are so many dates or shows that they could have recorded. I mean, not being there, I'm not going to say that you know they they've recorded better shows elsewhere because I don't know. But certainly the shows we were talking off air about the O2. You know, the two shows at the O2 were just phenomenal.
Yeah, look, I think it's the third official release in in a Latin American country. So, Rock in Rio was in Brazil, En Vivo was Chile, Argentina, depending on the particular frame you're
And
talking about.
and another album with the word dead or death in it.
Oh, again, yeah, yeah. There's a bit of yeah. It's getting a bit old, isn't it? But
Yeah, but they are.
yeah, yeah. It's funny that actually, it's just there's that live after death, day of the oh, night of the dead, dance of death, death on the road, and I'm sure I've missed another half a dozen releases. But yeah,
A real dead.
yeah, it would have been good to have something a little bit more original. But look, it is what it is. No, I know that the South American and Latin American audiences are fanatical and you know really. I mean, the band just love playing in
Yeah,
those
but
areas.
it's nothing to do about the crowd. It's the way the band are playing.
Yeah, true. I mean, we were both at that London O2 gig in 2018, and I mean that was just spine tingling. That performance, I'm surprised. I'm personally surprised. I would have thought they would have released London '02 from
Mm.
2018 as the show, or Paris 2018. But alas, we get Mexico City. Now the formatting is the formats that this release is available in is very interesting. Um, it's quite an eclectic mix. You can have your simple digipack, you can have the 180 gram vinyl, you can have the hard case deluxe edition, which I've ordered. And guess what? Maiden have finally released a coloured vinyl, the tri-coloured uh, red, white, and green Mexican colour edition, which I think is brilliant.
It's great. You've got to go to Walmart to get it.
Yes, yeah, apparently it's only a Walmart only release, but whoever's working in the marketing department there is very switched on, because it is the craze at the moment. It's a real trend at the moment, and the
I mean,
collect
it'll sell a lot, just like because the collectors will want their copy of the red, white, and green.
yeah.
So from that point of view, yes, it will sell. It'll be a number one album. You can guarantee it.
Oh, the collectors will snap this up. The collectors will snap this up, because all formats are collectible. All the formats are collectible, and not least this one. So
It's another live album. It's the entire show, um, and if it's anything to go by, I think we did the two shows we saw at in Brooklyn.
mm,
I mean, they were two immense shows. The sound, I mean, the visuals. It's going to be worth having in your collection, of course. Being Maiden fans, that's uh, just looking through it. I mean, everything's there. Greater good of God, sign of the cross.
mm.
Yeah, superb.
Yeah, look, I'm really happy to see it, and it's probably the best thing that, or the best news we've had in 2020. I mean, let's face it, it's been a garbage year. It's been a rubbish year
Hmm.
all around. So to have a maiden release to celebrate's actually quite positive. The other thing that I guess the speculation or the question that people ask is, why no DVD release? Um,
I have my thoughts. Quite simply, well, I don't, you've said yourself that Steve Harris quoted that DVDs don't sell. The chances are there is one somewhere sitting on a shelf, but it's one of those items that they will probably leave until like the band are finished, the band are recording no more. They're not doing live anymore. It's something that they're holding back because they know that after they're gone, it will sell. Yeah. Right, let's bring up the discussion of AMOLED.
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, we'll in a minute. Actually, that's a really interesting topic. But I think, look, there's arguments for and against.
Mm.
Certainly, I think Maiden's management aren't terribly bullish about DVD physical DVD release, and even the Book of Souls live chapter was done as a kind of like a live stream, and I reckon they might do something with this maybe in the future. But um, I mean, bands are still releasing physical DVDs, and they are selling quite well. I mean, Metallica, Slipknot, Alter Bridge. I mean, these are all bands that have released physical DVDs recently and done extremely well doing it. So,
Well,
and knowing, sorry,
the simple reason behind that, I think the simple reason behind that is quite simply because I think there's quite a few symbols there. Um, the because there's no live music at the moment, so it makes sense for these bands to sort of release DVDs, live CDs. Just trying to fill the gap, trying to entertain people, and people are snapping them up.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
so yes, it would have been an idea for Maiden to release a DVD, just giving up people an idea. But then there's still people that haven't seen the show. They might have heard it, various bootlegs, whatever. But um, you've got to go and see it because it is a very visual show, and
Yeah.
I'm sure that they've got something sort of put away somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think visually, I was really hoping for a DVD because it is from start to finish, from the opening where you've got that massive Spitfire to where
Yeah,
Eagles Dare with all the backgrounds, the theatrics of Sign of the Cross. It's I mean this show is made for a video release. It really is.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
so one would hope next year, or they'll release something. If and especially if what we maybe speculate that next year's shows may not occur, then I guess it gives them a little bit more reason to at least put something else out as well.
Mm.
Gee, another topic of conversation which has come up on the Iron Maiden fan club forum is about a matter of life and death 2006 DVD, which word has it, rumors have it that it was professionally filmed, and we're not talking about download because that was a live stream, but an actual show was filmed, and there is there is footage actually of Steve Harris and Kevin Shirley sitting in the studio and sort of mixing it, but that hasn't been released. So I think
Well, again, is that another one that they've put on the shelf until they retire?
yeah, who knows? Who knows? I mean, they are a forward-thinking band, and they certainly do plan things in advance. So, uh, but then again, would they have been forward planning something like that 13 years
Well,
ago?
they're just sorting out their pension fund, aren't they? The plan for the future.
Yeah, but back in
He's got,
2006.
he's got to carry on living in the Bahamas because he can't afford the taxis over here. So, he's got to find a way of paying his rent.
Yeah, but surely not surely not as far back as 2006. I mean, they wouldn't have.
Well, the thing is, you think about, I mean, they go on and they go on. It's a bit like the Stones, they'll go on until they drop. And I
Absolutely.
think Maiden would, yeah, I think they'll do the same thing. They'll just keep going until one of them drops, and and then call it a day. But yeah, AMOLED, that'd be interesting because it's a great album.
Yeah, that's a superb album. I think the fans on the in the fan club really initiated that discussion certainly before the live album was announced because there was just nothing happening at all. I mean, there was a real dearth of news, and the fans were just hungry for something. Hence, why this was actually brought up because people wanted something, and
Mm.
along pops this new album. So, and then all the topic of conversation kind of got steered
Yeah, yeah. I
towards
mean, at
that.
the end of the day, I mean, if anybody out there, anybody watching knows anything about this, then please leave a comment below that we can pick up on because we're as interested in this as anybody else.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, now, Loopy, you just last week went down to Maryland Point to the East End again, back in the old. Oh, in fact, you're there now. I see.
Look like I'm outside the Queen Vic, for any EastEnders fans out there. All right, Cockney geezer, all right. Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yes, I
great.
paid a visit to my friend Castro. I mean, in fact, he invited me, which was I thought was a bit special. He's a lovely guy, and I'd said to him a few weeks back, I'd love to sort of get down there just to sort of get some photos, or at least I'd do a bit of video. Um, right, so but he's right. Let me start. Walked into the place, and I was actually surprised at how small the upstairs, like the
Mm,
normal area that we knew. Like you sort of used to walk in, Big stage was on the right hand side, the little stage was on the left, the bar was in front of you. But it was quite a distance. That distance has now been about halved, I would have thought.
Wow, halved.
Yeah, there's no stage there. It's all laid out like an eating area. So it literally is like a bar, come sort of like bistro, restaurant, whatever you want to call it. So like, yes, you've now got the new bar. This will be shown in the video. Um, um, but the main feature is downstairs, and again, I'll show you the video of that. Um, Downstairs is just a wonderful space. I mean, it's huge. Whereas the capacity before at the pub was around about 100, 120 maximum. You can get about 180 people downstairs maximum. But again, if you watch the video and just listen to what I'm saying, it'll give you an idea of the layout of the place. Uh, I just found the space downstairs phenomenal. It looks great, and it's yeah, I can't wait for it to open. The set date now is March next year. Um, Castro was offered February, and Castro said no. I want it to be March. What the average reasons are behind that, I'm not sure, but so anyway, he's got plans, and Castro always has big ideas, and I really hope this pays off. But the ceiling in the upstairs, in the pub itself, upstairs, um, it's panelled. There's like nine panels, and what he wants to do is paint an Iron Maiden album cover in
Wow.
each panel. And basically, I said to him yesterday, well, you don't need Maiden's permission for that because it's not like you're trying to sell it. So he said, well, at the end of the day, he's going to do it, and if there is any complaints, he can whitewash it. He's not bothered. So, um, but he did show me quite a huge space on the stairs as you go down. There's obviously like you're looking at quite a high wall because that is part of the staircase, but he's got this really high wall. And he said to me, I want to put something special up there. You know, can you talk to Steve Harris? And I said, well, I can ask. Just ask the question. And that got me thinking about other bits and pieces. So, I mean, the discussion came up about Darren Witt. He said, does he know anybody that could donate something? There was talk amongst ourselves that, if we could get Darren to have a chat with Laz from the fan or ex fan club about donating. Anyway, what's happened is that yes, I spoke to Steve. I sent him a message and he called me, and he said, yeah. He said, like, don't worry about that. He said because he's in Portugal at the moment. He said, look, at the end of the month, I'll probably be back home. He said, and I will sort something out for you. So he is donating something special, I hope. It comes from Steve, it's always special. But so yeah, he would be donating something that will go up in this space, and it's so high up that you need more than a ladder, to get the damn thing down. So it won't go missing.
Wow.
Spoke to Darren Witt. Darren Witt has said, yeah, no problem. He's going to donate some posters, some vinyl, lots of picture discs, that kind of thing that can be framed. They'll all go up. I think yourself, you've donated. Well, you're going to donate a couple of Australian Trooper cans. So
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
that'd be,
I'll
that'd be good.
yeah, it'd be good to send something from here to
Yeah.
there as a, I guess.
I spoke to Castro yesterday, and he said he'd seen the cans, or he'd seen pictures. Who's Nomad? Is it Nomad? Is that the
Yeah, so I believe no, it's the Nomad Brewery. I mean, I don't drink the beer. I've got it for a couple of people, but I don't drink the beer. And
I'm not saying a word. I'm not saying a word.
yeah, I think I would likely donate, yeah, a couple of cans for Castro over there. Be nice to send a part of us, or have a part of us represented at the cart. So yeah.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. I'm just going to send him a picture of myself.
Well, you are an icon, Loopy. You are just um,
Just to make it more valuable, I might sign it.
no, no. You are an absolute icon. So yes, I think all we need is a bust of you there, and um,
The thing is, I mean, it's nice to be part of that family. I mean, it was a shame that John Duffus died because,
yeah,
again, he was part of the family. Um, but I mean, just going down there and meeting up with the guys, there are so many sort of ex-Maiden people that go down there. And I have
mm,
said to Castro that when the time is right, I will take Steve down there.
yeah.
Steve said to me, well, I'll get mobbed. I said, Steve, you go in there on a Wednesday afternoon at 12 o'clock when the pub opens. There's no bugger there. It gives you a chance to wander around. You know,
Or he just goes after hours when the place is shut, completely shut, late at night on a midweek. No one's there, and he can
that's it.
just
That's
go.
it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's amazing, really, the amount of people that just turn up just to take photos
yeah. He can
because
just
it's such an iconic pub.
he can just pretend he's walking around in Costco, eh?
Tesco's with
Tesco,
his
sorry.
mask. Yeah.
Tesco, sorry, yeah. That's okay, that's just a
Yeah.
private
I
joke between us. We'll just leave it
No,
at that.
I can spill the beans on that one. This having this little chat with Steve, and he said that we were just talking about sort of going shopping, and he said that he goes shopping in Tesco's, and I said, "Don't you get recognised?" He said, "No." No, he said, I don't get recognised at all. And he said, and now, he said, like, you got to wear a mask. He said, I get recognised even less. Apparently, it's only ever happened once. And that was like years ago. And the guy sort of recognised him, but didn't approach him. But that's just like the English way, isn't it? It's bizarre. I mean, I'll go back a couple of years. But there's an ex-West Ham player called Ian Dowie. And he's well known for doing Sky Sports on a Saturday afternoon. And he was wandering around Romford looking like he was lost. And I saw him, and I'm wearing a West Ham beanie, not a beanie hat. And he sort of looked at me. I looked at him, he nodded, and I thought, bloody hell, it's Ian Dowie. But it's just like the English way. You don't go up and say, can I have your autograph? We just don't do it.
As opposed to other parts of the world where the guys get absolutely swamped.
Swamped, yeah. Yeah, but I think we've I think we've done that one.
Oh yeah,
And it's,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That was embarrassing. But anyway, all right. So shall we show the video then?
Yep, yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
well,
here's
so both, whichever way round, this is both self-explanatory.
Yep. So enjoy the video, guys. This is when you went down to the Cart and Horses and actually took some footage of what the cart's looking like now. And I guess even though we covered this in episode 2, we did say at some point that we were going to give an update on the cart, and this very much is a pictorial depiction of.
It's almost, it's 15, 16, 17 months later.
Yes, yeah, because
Yeah,
we
that's an update.
yeah, because episode 2, well, we did it in June of last year, so it's
Yeah, so it's just it's about 15 months.
16 months. So
Yeah.
yeah, so now we're going to show you what the cart is looking like as a work in progress 16 months on. So yeah, enjoy the video, and I guess we'll sign off and say goodbye. So
See you later.
for now, we've see you for the next one, and boy, the next one's going to be a killer.
I'll see you down a pub. Right.
See everyone.
Bye bye.
Right, so I am walking in from the main door, and let's go this way first. Right, this wall here, there's going to be the mixing desk area, and then if I turn around, that is fire escape, so there's no access in and out. Over to the side, that was the door originally where they were going to have the wheelchair access lift come in, but turns out it's going to be 10 grand, so they're not doing that now. And then let's swing round to that area there. In between those two posts is where the stage is going to be. It's going to be about 15 or 18 inches high, still plenty of clearance. From what I understand, I think it's 3 metre clearance from floor to ceiling. Swinging around again, over in that corner, door in the corner, sorry about the cables, but that will be like the dressing room area, and next to that is what's going to be like a little office, and in that is the bar area. So yes, there will be a bar, bottles and cans of beer, the wine, spirits, all that kind of stuff. And then that is the access door. Door in the corner is for cold storage for beers and more wines and all that kind of stuff. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is the new Cart and Horses venue. Let me know what you think in the comments below.
Door for the.
And we're going this way.
Main door.
This is the new bar area. It looks quite wide at the moment, but then don't forget you've got fridges that are going to go underneath the bar. And then again, fridges that side. And then you get optics, everything else up against that wall there. Can't see very much around this side, but be assured that that dark space in there is the kitchen. Can't see very much, there's no light. And then back around opposite where the bar is, you have the toilets. And it's gents in there. Disabled toilet there. And the ladies probably be the only time I ever get to see that. There you go. If I head back round to where Castro is, without killing myself.
Well, that's what it is. We just have to get on with it. Be sure that and do as much as we can.
This is the new upstairs. Quite small, but then when you consider the size of downstairs, upstairs it's just about right. And that corner is the access to downstairs. And just so you know where I'm standing, behind me is the main door. So if I stand at the main door and pan round, this is absolutely everything. The stairs to go up. And round where the old stage was, back into the corner where the old door was. So there you have it.